Appreciate you sliding, Brody.
You already know.
Here we in this jump.
Hello, I'm Andre.
Hey, it's your boy JustJonavin, and I'm here with
Andre Saunders.
and this is What Does It Mean to Be an Artist, episode number 2. What made you get into making music? Was the first thing that came, was it songwriting, or was it the first thing just recording? What got you into that?
Even how you say songwriting, a lot of rappers don't know how to actually songwrite. They know how to rap. So for me, I remember I was doing song structure type songs back when like the DVDs was popping and the freestyles was popping and like people didn't understand it. But then when time transitioned a little bit, people was like, yo, he was ahead of the curve because he was writing hooks on songs and doing conceptual songs. But honestly, it just started for me like playing around. I remember before going to school, I'd go to my cousin's house and just freestyle before school and he'd record me. Or like then I joined my poetry group. So always was a good writer and was like very good with like concepts and like storytelling and stuff like that. I just realized I started locking in.
Around what time did you feel like you started locking in, or what made you kind of flip that switch to me? Like,
I used to record, go down South Street and stuff like that, and I used to do it, but like it wasn't my main thing I wanted to do because I used to like do art, draw, paint, and stuff like that. But when I realized like, yo, I really started liking music more than this, so I wake up every day and music is on my mind. That's when I was like, I had went to like college, and I was like, dang, this is kind of I'm about to really start locking in. Like I remember I would come, I went to school in DC, I went to Howard. So I remember I used to come home and record on the weekends sometimes. Probably when I shot like my first video. And from there I just kept it going, to be honest.
now I did want to make sure I made the distinction and not say like, when did you start making music into when did you start songwriting, because I feel like it's a lost trait in the game right now, bro. His pen is crazy, and sometimes I was like, as a producer, I'm listening to the flows, I'm listening to the pockets, and like just like every other consumer, I might miss the wordplay.
Yeah.
But it's like on the surface, I'm like, man, my dog, he going crazy, and then it's like that music is stop for a second, and like, bro,
And you break it down.
bro, then the breakdown come. If you could go off the top, what's one of your favorite bars that you pinned up? You can either do recent or just of all time.
I feel like the way we work, it be like I be forgetting my stuff. Actually, what's that line I said recently about? I said it was like a football reference, or like even or I said you still wear my jewelry, so it's crazy how you judge me or something like that.
God.
For me, it's like I like wordplay or like being an elite writer, where it's like everybody ain't really like into that or they don't get it, but my stuff be layered. Like Lupe, you gotta listen a couple times and break it down.
What does your creative peak feel like to you?
I just go into a zone. I love making projects versus just like loose songs. I know when I'm in my zone when I'm making a project because my mind just like I record super fast.
Yeah, that's one thing I do admire about you as well too.
And I do everything on the spot. Like I don't pre-write nothing. When I feel the music, my inspiration going naturally click. So it's like the perfect marriage of a good beat and then my inspiration with the words.
One thing that I am curious about is along this journey, what is something that's happened that made you either your confidence a little shaky or just made you want to be like, yo, man, this joint really just a burnout?
I'll answer like 2-in-1 thing. As far as music, and I don't really feel it. Well, I guess technically we human, so we still always feel it to some degree. But like when I was first getting into music, I used to like compare myself or be like, hey, somebody did this, I should be here, or we have these skills of where we want to be. But for the good amount of years now, that's why like when I do shows, I don't really pay attention to what no other artists doing or go and be in my own world. I have my headphones in because artists that trick themselves by comparison. I always feel like God bless us for what he want us to have. So if I'm worrying about what your blessings was, that's not aligning me to what I'm supposed to be fully doing. So I'm very aware of that type of stuff. And then like personal, I had this little pack I made to myself and we did it till it's literally the last song on my necklace. One of my super close friends died, and I always make sure I incorporate that memory on like all my projects.
And what's your closest friend's name?
Zakia.
And I don't know if you mind sharing the story of what happened.
It's a long story, but I'll say I remember I was making my first commercial project, Moments, and I remember one of my friends was like, yo, sometimes before death, God will like allow you to revisit everything that you experienced with that person from the beginning to the end, basically. When she died, pretty much that whole week, it literally was kind of like what he said. And I know when that first happened, a lot of my friends was like, yo, I know Drake gonna have the perfect song. And I was like, man, I don't even want to rap about it. Thankfully, I ended up getting to a point where I felt comfortable to do it, but I didn't want to just do it for clout or not. Like I wanted to do it for honor. And I felt like I did that justice.
How do you want people to receive your music or to react to your music?
It's a feeling. I feel like I inspire people, but it's honest, it's personal, it's vulnerable. Lately, I've been getting into other sounds where it's like more fun or just vibes, but like the core sound of my music is like, you're gonna feel it.
And that is something that I do appreciate about your music. Music is always gonna make you feel something. But I think you do a really good job of getting feelings out of people with the words that you choose. One thing that I say to people is music is like a time capsule because it always encompasses a feeling that you had in a specific moment. Each song or note is really tied to a specific emotion.
That's what I used to appreciate. When you listen to like a lot of Drake early albums, you can remember exactly where you was at in life.
Bro.
And I think that's why sometimes artists or people would say artists is falling off. And it's not even that the artist is falling off. It's just that you're at a different place in your life. So you looking at them differently, but we growing. I feel like when you make a solid body of work, people remember it versus just a good song.
What is your opinion on the state of music? Where do you think it's going?
I think great music is still out there. I just think now it's different type of music. Now people kind of want the catchy, quick, hey, I could be on TikTok with this or whatever. And that's cool. I ain't taking that away from it, but I love the art of music versus that. Like, but it's cool to vibe to that sometimes.
What does it mean to be an artist to you?
To me, being an artist is freedom, expression, creativity. When you listen to my music, you'll feel like you know me as a person. Go listen to my songs and then come back. I feel like you'll be like, oh, I could tell you this about yourself.
You kind of touched on it a little bit, but who has been some of your inspirations along your artist journey?
I'm a big Lauryn Hill fan, Tupac, Wale, Wayne, and Drake. I listen to everything, but those are probably my favorites. I
want to know what advice you have for inspiring artists.
I know this gonna sound cliche, but work hard. What worked for me might not work for you. What worked for you might not work for him, especially as far as music. So it's kind of like figuring out what your niche is, what your lane is. And then when you figure that out, key in on it. Definitely, I had the network from doing it for so long. I became self-sufficient by doing the work to where now I don't have to rely on these people to book me. People will wait around for somebody giving them an opportunity versus going out and learning it or figuring out how to create opportunity for yourself. I'm very big on creating your own opportunity. And people, you gotta research, man. It's like, if you in school, you studying. It's the same thing with music. Like, you gotta read or be on Google and like invest your time. And that's how I made a lot of my business opportunities, is from going and doing research or figuring out who is in the lanes that I'm trying to connect to and reaching out and doing the work. Like, people don't really do that no more. They kind of just want stuff handed to them, or hey, social media. But it's like, I feel like, no, you gotta do the work in real life. Like, I'm still from that era where I remember going to South Street, passing out 1,000 flyers and throwing my own shows. You gotta take a chance on yourself. Instead of me paying to get on it, I would take the money and throw my own event and then put my people on it and allow them to make some money while they at it. I'm not gonna charge them to get on it. I'm gonna get these tickets printed. You take 50 and give me 50, cause I still gotta pay for the venue at the end of the day. But like artists. It's just, artists gotta be more smarter and thinking. Just stop being lazy.
I know I do want you to talk about your involvement with the schools.
So to speak on my school programs, we do mentorship programs. We do.
What made you want to get into that?
I always just love giving back, and I always, if you listen to my music, it's always inspiring. That's just naturally who I am as a person. When God bless you, that's your way to give your blessings, to share your blessings with other people. So I always did like give backs and community events or coat drives or food drives. It naturally just kind of fit my thing. That's how I got with my program. I met my founder because I was going to do a give back for my elementary school, and they wanted to recognize me, and he saw the way the kids interacted with me. It was like, hey, I want to talk to you about a possible partnership, and it actually blended perfectly. We teach creative writing, journaling, poetry, just writing in general, we provide journals for them, we provide other materials, and for me, a lot of my programs are like therapeutic, because you know kids go through a lot of stuff that they don't necessarily talk about or care to share with a regular teacher or whatever. So I feel like the aspect that I'm coming in, they relate to me. So it gives them a chance to open up and talk about stuff they probably would never talk about.
Honestly, that is a perfect way to parlay your skills as an artist and
Finding your lane.
exactly parlaying your skills as an artist, but also finding ways to give back and also finding ways to have your art be an asset, essentially. And that's important.
It's crazy because I always say, like, being an artist, you're not a need for people, you're a want. Like, people can like your music, but they don't need you. If you a cameraman, a person need film. If you're a producer, people need beats. So as an artist, you have to find a way to leverage your craft to create opportunity, to be a need. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm an artist, but I have platforms to where artists going to want to be a part of it. So now, like, a lot of artists reach out to me, or I help a lot of artists in those type of ways. And it's not like I'm saying that for it because I want credit. It's just that I'm fortunate enough to be in those situations.
Staring in the mirror, I see three of me. Asking myself, like, what you see in me? I see everything. A young king like Simba with the heart of a lion. Told myself I'ma get rich or die trying. Steph Curry, how I'm cooking. Competition, I've been frying. Zakia, are you proud of me? I know you gotta be. My face been on the TV screen. I'm seeing clearer than some Visine. I'm missing you beside of me. I need your luck just like